G'day guys, welcome back. Welcome to Pouring Your Heart Out. I'm going to have a play with my skull mold. Oh, I just pulled my studio upside down looking for my bigger skull, but I couldn't find it. I don't know what I've done with it. I'm going to have to buy another one. So anyway, I'm using this one. And when I was flicking through Facebook the other day, or last week I think it was, there was somebody that did some cogs in the side of a skull. I didn't make a note of who it was, but if it was you, you know who you are. Comment down below so I can say thank you for your inspiration. So I'm going to try and do something like that. And it was just on the side. Now, I guess there's a few ways you could do this. You could put your skull mold on an angle like that, prop it up, pour some resin into the side there and let that sort of cure, and then put your cogs in. But I'm going to just see if I can do it a different way. I'm going to use my UV resin from Let's Resin, and I'm going to use this lamp and I can put that there. Let's see if that'll fit. Yes. Oh, maybe I should. No. I wonder if I can just use. I could probably just use half because I only really need it to. I couldn't I? I could just. Will it work if I turn that half on? Yeah, it's the same. I'm a dill. It's the same. Okay. But anyway, I'll just leave it like that for now. So anyway, I just want to cure the bottom like that, because this sits over the top, but I don't think it would be very good if the heat of that rested on there, because it doesn't quite fit. Look, it might be all right. It's just the magnet on this side won't touch. Oh, well, if I push it. Okay, we'll see what happens. I only need to do the bottom anyway. So what I thought I would do is, I am going to have to sort of prop it a little bit so that it's, because of the eye socket there. So I'll just prop that a little bit. What can I use? What can I use? That, maybe. Maybe that. I'll come over a little bit. So basically, we're just going to see, it's just going to give me an idea of where the resin needs to sit. And because it's UV resin, I can always add more to it later. I think I'll just start with that. All right, so I'm going to pop some in. Okay, I'm going to put some in and just give it a squirt and basically let it just, I can see where it's flowing in there. I'm going to kind of give it a bit of a swirl. Actually, there's a bubble in there. Let me just really quickly torch that. I don't know if you can see it in there, but I need to sort of get it here. I don't want it to run down there. I'm going to give it a bit of a swirl. Maybe oh, look at this. How about if I hold it on here while I'm swirling? How about that? And that way I might be able to get it where I want it. What do you think? Do you think that would work? I don't know. We'll try. Just going to roll it around. So it's a thin layer, because if you did a really thick layer on there, you know, it's not going to cure very well if it's a really thick layer. But if I do this, it's kind of like, this is how they do those tumblers, isn't it? Well, not with UV resin, but it keeps moving and keeps moving while the resin cures. Sorry if you can't see, but it is actually slowing down now. The puddle has slowed, so it's not running anymore. There's just a little puddle there. Okay, that worked. Didn't need those after all. Okay, pick up my lid. I'll just give that a minute or so. Oops, I should put the lid back on, shouldn't I? Whenever you've got your UV lamp on, take your lid and put it back on. So I have got some, I don't know what colour you'd call that, sort of an antique kind of copper. We've got, oh no, that's the copper. It's kind of an antique gold maybe, or a bronze, and we've got some gold, got some steely colours. I think I've got a few little silver ones in there. Probably not many because I used a lot of them when I was doing my last project. But because it's only going to be like this size, like it's not going to be a very big size area, I'm only going to use the little cogs. And it'll be like he's thinking, and you can see the workings of his brain. What do you reckon? Oh my gosh. All right. Now, I need to take that out, I think. Let's see if we can get it out. Oh, sorry, I'll give that there. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to make it, and then I'm going to put some resin in, and then I'm going to put it back in. Just because I didn't trust it. Gosh, what's that? Okay, you just sit there because it's a bit sticky on top. We'll cure that side. I don't know, you guys. I'm just having a little play around here. Where was it? Yep, in there. I think it's dry. That's on my glove. I don't see any residue in there. So anyway, once this has cured, I might give it another layer just on top, just to kind of smooth it. And then, you done? Okay, yep, you're done. Might give it a little bit longer. So now we've got this little shell now in the exact shape. It's got like a little scratch or something there. I don't know whether there's something like a hair in my mold or whether there's a little scratch, but anyway, I'm just going to give that another minute on both sides. Oh gosh, what have I done? There we go. It's back, it's working. I just put this from down there into up here, so there we go, that one's working. So I'm just going to kind of do this as I go along because I'm not exactly sure, you know, what I want to do with it. So I'll just finish curing that and I'll be right back. I did forget that I had to turn the other side on because you can use it that way or you can use it that way, and if you're going to use it that way you have to turn that one on as well. So yeah, silly me. Anyway, I think it's done now. Let's just move that out of the way for a minute. I think it's done. It doesn't feel sticky at all. Just going to get a piece of plastic out. Now, because can you see that little line there? I've got a couple of marks on it, and I just want to see if I can get it to be a little bit sort of more clear. Just going to pop that bubble. Actually, I can just use my gloves, can't I? I can just do that. Just spread that. Make sure you do wear gloves though, even though it's UV resin. Just make sure you wear your gloves because you can still get reactions from, you know, the UV resin, and you know it will cure on you like regular resin does too. You don't want resin curing on you, regardless of what type it is. Right, so I think I'm going to give this a little layer on both sides just to make sure that it's got a nice sort of smooth coat. All right, we'll give that a couple of minutes. All right, that's ready. Now this is the same size skull. Do you remember when I did this one? I'm just going to see what it's going to look like. I don't know, I can't remember which way it went. No, it must be this way. Or was it the other side? Because it was opposite. No? Well, it was in there. Oh gosh, I'm backwards now, aren't I? It was in there. somehow. I can't remember how it was sitting now. Okay, in there like that. It's sitting like that. So when I unmold it, it's the left side. So when you unmold it, it's this side here, isn't it? Kind of sitting there. Something like that was sitting. So I think that's big enough. I think that's how it was. So anyway, you can have a little play. I probably won't bring them into this little pointy bit here, but you won't see that. I don't think you'll see that once it's you've got resin in it. So I think it'll sit there. I'll just put some cogs and things in there. First attempt, we'll see how we go. We can only improve next time, hey? All right, so let me pop a little bit more resin in here. Make sure you get all those bubbles out. We don't want any bubbles in his brain. Bubble brain. Okay, so now I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to flip that over and I'm just going to, I can do it with my gloves. Just going to spread it. Got a little bit more this time. It's a little bit thicker because I want it to sort of have a wider surface area for me to put my cogs in. I kind of want them to be on a flat surface, not on a sloping surface. Oops, better get you a bit closer, shouldn't I? If you know what I mean. So I might have to do this in a couple of layers. But like I said, you may decide it's too much trouble and you're just gonna pour straight into the mold. And of course you can do that too. Whatever floats your boat. As in whatever you choose to do. Has anyone heard that saying? Or is it an Aussie thing? Whatever floats your boat. Okay, it's still rolling a little bit, and I'll just spread that out as it thickens. Because I didn't want any of those weird marks on there that I had. All right. This is where I need my little tray. And just slide it in there. It's really handy for doing this sort of thing. It is. All right, give that a couple of minutes and I'll be back. While that's cooking, I'm just having a little look through my little bags of cogs to see what I'd like to use. I think I'm going to get just a few of each colour. And I'm thinking I'll keep it clear. And then, oh, I dropped a couple. And then make the skull coloured. What do you think? All right, let's see how this is going. Okay, that's good. It's still quite, I don't know if you can see, it's still quite low in there though. So I guess there's two ways I could do this. I could fill that totally and then put the cogs on top, or I could put a couple in, UV resin them in, put another couple in, UV resin them in, so that they're sort of following the shape of that little cup there that we've got. So should we do that? Let's try that. Let's see if we can get some of these couple of these coppery ones. I don't think I want a key or anything like that. Yeah, see, that's too big. They're going to have to be small ones. If I had my bigger skull, I could certainly use that, but I'm pretty limited as to what I can use here. So I'll go with those ones, and then I think I'll see if I can find that colour. I like that one too. I don't think I've got that one. So basically just make a start. Move that out of the way. Zoom you in a little bit. Oh, I think that's okay. Now just put a little bit in. And again, you can, I put clean gloves on because my others were getting a bit sticky. Maybe I'll just use a stick. A sticky stick. I don't want it to be too thick in any particular area, but I just want it a little bit there. Alright, so you can go there. Now I've got to remember that it's the other side that we're going to see. So this one's got like a little dot on top. I have to make sure I put that face down. And I'm going to try and make it look as if, you know, the cogs are working together. And then I can add a tiny bit more. And at this stage, you only need to have a few drops just to sort of secure everything in place. You don't have to go crazy and have a whole heap in there. I think that one has a top or a bottom. Whoa, look at it. It's so cute. Oh. All right, and then I'm going to put, I guess I could maybe put a slightly larger one in there. Oh, I was going to pop that bubble, but it popped itself. Now that one's got a top and a bottom as well. So I'll flip that over. Not over there. Come up here. I just don't want to, I don't want to put the heat lamp on in case I still need to move anything around. So I just want to make sure that everything's where I want it and things are going to fit before I go adding anything else. Could potentially put a slightly bigger one there. I think it's nice to have maybe one bigger one. I don't think I've got any of these colours yet. I like that one. It's quite big though. Maybe it can just sit here between those ones. Give him a little bit of UV resin. Maybe you need some underneath though, totally underneath, hey? I don't want it to end up like with a bubble or anything under there. Okay, so that's good. All right, I think I'm going to I can add a couple like smaller ones around there. So I think what I'll do is I will just set that. Yeah, let's set that before I do too much more. Oops, where's my little magnetic gone? Well, might help if I move the cord. What have I got you around the wrong? Yep, I had you around the wrong way. Okay, here we go. Let's have a little look. Bit of poke. Yep, that's good. All right, let's finish that off. Put a little bit more UV in. I'm going to put a couple more of these sort of coppery ones in. I like those. That can go there. It's a good place for it to go. And where else? Oh, that one's stuck totally. This one's kind of going underneath it. Didn't realize there was a bit of a gap there. That's okay. What else? What else? This little tiny dude, little dude can go in there. Put a drop there. Should really have some tweezers, shouldn't I? Okay, so he can go there. I still want to go right into this pointy bit here. I don't think I do anyway, but any more of these that we want? That colour. Oh, that one's the same as that one. I don't want to put two the same right next to each other. What about that one? Maybe that one up there, because that's it's a sort of a medium-sized spot there. Like so. It's a little, must have been a little droplet that I've picked up from that bit of plastic I had. Oh, it's gone across the other side of the room. All right, so I can put a little one there. All right, do you want to bear with me, or shall I just see you after I'm done? Because I've got to think about this. What about something like that? It kind of doesn't really match though, does it? Matchy matchy. Knew that was going to happen. Just trying to see what the other side looked like. I'll do it later. All right, I'm just gonna put them in, and then I'll see you at the end. Otherwise, you'll be bored stupid watching me.
She came to a standstill and explained.
So I finished filling it in. That one sticks out a little bit, but it'll be all right. Oh, I forgot. Oh, look at that. I've missed that. I thought I was done. I need to put another couple of little ones there. So I've sort of been trying to check it as I go to make sure there's no bubbles on this side, you know, sort of caught underneath. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to add a little bit of resin and just try and sort of cover everything and build it up a little bit. Give it a light touch, make sure there's no bubbles. I can already see there's some bubbles, but I'm going to do this just a thin layer at a time so that if I do see a bubble, I can easily just pop it. This one. Put it down before you torch it, okay? Don't torch it in your hand with the glove on. Oh, there's a couple more bubbles. Try to get them out now. Take the time to get them out now. Then be upset later on when you turn it over and then you can see bubbles. So I think what I'll do is I will just let this resin, it's hot now because I've torched it, so it's flowing really easily. I'll just cover everything with a little thin layer of resin. One little bubble. Yep, you're in there too. I see you. Come out. I see you. Okay. I think that's okay. Just cure that, and then I'll have to go and get my cogs out again and fill in those other two holes. So it's got a little layer now over the top of all of those cogs. It's looking pretty good, I think. There's a couple of little bubbles in there, but he'll just be a bubble head. So what I'm going to do is I am just going to take some time just to kind of fill this. I'm just going to do it in layers. So I won't film it, but I'm just going to fill it in just so that I've got, if possible, a smooth surface. Might have to just prop that up a little bit. So I'm going to do that and make sure that I'm curing from both sides, like a minute or two on each side, and I'm going to put a bit more resin, cure both sides, and it'll take me a little while, so I'm going to do that and then come back to you, okay? I've just popped it in there. I wanted to see if it would fit. I've got it in there. I'm not going to take it out again because I've got it balancing on that and that just to kind of prop it up. So what I'm going to do, I have a little bit of resin here that I've popped in my debubbling machine because I don't want any bubbles underneath it. And I am going to just pour some, I'll lift this up with a stick. I can't do it while I'm holding the camera and lifting the stick and pouring the resin. So unless one of you want to come down through the screen and help me, I'm going to have to put you back up onto the phone holder up above. But that's what I'm going to do. So hopefully you can see what I'm going to do. How am I going to do this? How am I going to do this? I think I'll need a little cup. I think I'm going to need a little cup. I mean, you could, if you wanted to, even, you know, put it into a syringe, but I only need a little bit. I've made more than I need because I'll do something else with that. Okay, are we ready? Now, I'm going to lift this up. Oh God, I need someone to help me. I'm going to lift that up. Okay, up. Oh, no. Okay, I'm going to take it out. There it is. I'm going to take it out. I'm going to pour a bit of resin in there. Got a bit of a droplet. Now, I've got to make sure that it doesn't roll anywhere that it's not supposed to roll, because I'm going to be filling this with black. I think I've decided on doing black resin. I think that'll look pretty cool. And that little wriggle there, is sort of around the eye and the jawline, I think. So I'm just going to make sure that this is sitting right. Push that in a bit more. A little bit more. See, I don't want to put too much in because this, when I push that, it's going to like make everything ooze out. So I've just got to be careful that I don't put too much in. But in saying that, I'm going to be putting black in on top of it. So if the clear spreads a little bit further, it probably won't really matter because it is clear. If I'd done this a color and then put it into clear, then you'd see color clear black, and then, you know, that might not look very good. Gosh, this is fiddly. I always pick the fiddly things to do, don't I? All right, let me just pop that. I'm just going to throw it in, and then when it's in there, oh, it's spreading, no. Okay. The resin sort of went into the eye socket a little bit. Well, okay, what I need to do is I need to lift this up a little bit more. See, I wasn't exactly sure what it was going to do until I had the resin in there, but now that I can see, I can kind of prop that up and get it to go where I want it to go. That's not too bad, actually. I thought it was worse than it is. I will bring you down in a minute and show you once I've got it all kind of set, but it just keeps wanting to slide around in there. All right, I'll bring you down and you can have a little look. See, it pretty much just looks what it looked like before. Hopefully you can kind of see what's going on in there. This area at the back, oh, you probably can't see now because it's not focusing on. I'm not sure if that's got resin behind it or not. I'm going to have to push it up a little bit. See that line behind that top cog? Might have to just see if there's resin behind that. But anyway, that's basically what I'm going to do. I'm just going to let it cure like that until it's pretty much cured. I don't want to wait until it's rock hard because then it could potentially pop out when I lift it up so that I can then pour the black resin in. So I'm going to have it a little bit soft. 6 p.m. now. I will probably give it maybe 3 hours and then I'll come back and test it. But I have to be really careful that I don't pop that out and then the black resin goes in between that and the black resin. All right, see you soon. Righto, it is 9:30 p.m. and I've had this sitting like that just so that it wouldn't slide back. Now I have to be super careful that I don't squeeze that, knock it, or anything. I don't want that bit of resin popping out. So I'll move all this away. I have got my resin, and because it's such a deep mold, I am using the deep pour resin. So obviously if you're using a very deep mold, you have to use a different resin to what you would use for just a thin casting item. So this one is the Let's Resin Deep Pour. That's A. Oh, sorry, nope, that's B. That's B. The A is the bigger bottle. I just thought I'd bring the B up. Right, so that's B. It's a 2-to-1. It is a 2-to-1. So I've got just under 300 grams here. What I did was, because I couldn't remember how much I used, so I popped that on the scale and that was 350 grams. It's quite heavy. So I don't need all of it because there's already some resin on the side there with the cogs in. So yeah, hopefully 300 grams will be enough. So about 10 ounces. And I put a couple of big squirts of the Let's Resin black paste in there. So it's nice and opaque. Looks gorgeous. All right. So now what I need to do is pour it in. And I'm going to just let the resin flow down my stick. That way I'm not splashing. Not making any splashes. We don't want any bubbles. This resin being a deep pour resin, you can pour it up to at least 2 inches. I'm hoping it's going to be all right. See, the thing is it takes about 2 days to cure. Oh, look at that. I'm nearly at the top. It takes about 2 days to cure. So you're not going to get that, that heat that you get from like a flash cure. You're not going to get that. So hopefully, because it's going to just cure nice and slowly, it's not going to get too hot. It shouldn't damage the mold. And I need a tiny little bit more. I'm just going to make up just a little bit more. I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but I'll make up just a bit more. A little bit more. Here we go. Might as well fill it up. Again, just going to let it run onto the stick. I don't want splashing, which is going to cause bubbles. I guess if you were concerned about pouring too deep, you could potentially do 2 layers. I don't want to touch the mold. Remember, don't want to touch the mold. You could potentially do 2 layers. The only problem with doing 2 layers is you do run the risk of seeing that join mark. But I'm hoping that because I sort of mostly cured that section that's in there, that I won't see a join. But if you do, so be it. I'm just going to spray the top. I'm not going to touch it, bang it, squeeze it, torch it, no, and just leave it like that. So, yeah, hopefully it'll be all right. Hopefully this black's not like, soaking in or seeping in, I should say, underneath any of that area that I've poured 3 hours ago. So, cross fingers. I will cover it just so that nobody's going to knock it or insects or anything get into it in the next 2 days while that's curing. Won't be able to use my bench. What are you barking at, guys? It's late. Hey, you should be getting ready for bed. All right, I'll see you in a couple of days, and hopefully this works. It has been 2 days and it's cured. If I press my nail in, it leaves a tiny little line, but I think it'll be fine. And I just put hand cream on this morning, and I thought, oh, I don't want to wash that off, so I've put my gloves on. Saves me slipping and making it all slippery. So I am going to, because it's a deep mold, I'm going to just spray down there with my isopropyl alcohol. I just use it in this little bottle here. Let's see if I can get it in there. I'm going to do that all the way around. Probably don't need to do it so much over here. And I can't really lift it very far, but I'm going to try and lift it as much as I can. And spray in there. And then you kind of, see how it's already loosening up? You kind of work that isopropyl in. And try to get it sort of down there. Put your thumb in there. Now, that little edge there is really sharp, so be really careful, don't cut yourself, okay? Resin, as a whole, resin's really sharp, okay? So just be really careful. And you can see there it's already kind of separating the mold from the piece. Oh, I just heard a pop. Yay! So, yeah, do that. I'm just going to put some, oh, I don't need to put any in there, it's done. So as you can see, it's nice and loose all the way around now. So hopefully it will just pop out. I'm not sure which is going to be the easiest way. Probably starting here, I guess, would be the easiest way. Normally I'd sort of hold it up here against my body, but then you won't be able to see what I'm doing. So I'm just going to do it this way. I'm going to get a finger in there, and we'll just going to pull up, and there she comes. Just go birth. All right, now let's give it a bit of a wipe real quick with my little microfiber cloth here. Get that isopropyl off before we turn it over and do the big reveal. I'm really worried that the black's, you know, gone under. Woo. Let me get on my little step so I can look through the screen to see what we're looking at. Okay, so here it looks good. Look at that, not a bubble to be seen. And I didn't put this in my vacuum chamber, I just left it out. But the you know, the deep pore resin is amazing. Got a tiny little bit there to trim. Anyway, without further ado, let's turn this guy around and see what the cogs look like. Are we ready? Are we ready? I can see a little bit on top. Okay, here we go. Ah, it worked, it worked, it worked. Yay. Oh my gosh, that is so cool. Wow. This little bit here where it was kind of lifting a little bit. It didn't want to sit flat against the mold. So it looks as if, it's not like the black's gone under, it's just, doesn't look as flush over there because, yeah, the edge of it was kind of, must have been sort of hitting this eye or something. But I couldn't push it any further back. It kept wanting to slide in. But look, I think that's really good for my first attempt. What do you think? Oh, wow. I think that's really cool. And of course, you could choose whatever colours you wanted to do. But yeah, I just wanted to do the black with all those different colour cogs in there. But you could do, I think the lady that I saw do it, she did white and then she put like a slight blue tint in there. And I've also thought about another way of doing this. Where is it? No, I've packed it away. I'll do another one for you with this other way I've figured out that might be a bit easier. So yeah, that will be coming up, but let me know what you think of this one. I'm so glad it's worked. Let's go outside, I think, or near the window. Oh, so I better hang on to my camera a little bit better so I don't drop it as I'm going across. All right, here we go. Get away from all those all those bright lights so we can have a little look a bit better, hey? Because sometimes those ring lights are really annoying. I think next time I might just do, instead of doing the side, but see, if it's sitting on a bookshelf or something like that, it looks nice that it's, you know, you can see it from the side. Whereas if you're looking at it and it's sitting on a bookshelf, if it's on the top, if you put your cogs on the top, it's not so easy to see, but you can certainly see it if it's just sitting on your shelf or on your table, on your desk at work. It'd make a good talking point, wouldn't it? So yeah, that's the back. And you know, you could make it as big or as small as you wanted to, but I just wanted to sort of do half, just the side of the head, not too far down. I didn't want it to go like into the neck. But I think, yeah, I'm really happy with that. I think I've done really well. What do you think? Do you like it? The cogs showing the workings of the brain, hey? Super cool. All right. And I don't see any join, you know, where I said to you, if you leave that disc that we made, if you let it set up too much, you'll see a join, and we're not seeing any join at all. So that is really, really good. Fantastic. And nothing's leaked through. Oh my gosh. All right. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you've enjoyed the video, and keep an eye out for my next skull that I do, because I will be doing another one with the other way that I'm thinking about doing it. Okay. Take care, guys. Bye for now.